All right. So, what's going on, y'all? It is time to do a little bit of a preview, a game preview, if you will, where I will give my thoughts and what I believe will be the final score and who the winner will be in our week 3 matchup against the Arizona Cardinals. The Rams have started the 2022 season. Uh, there's been there's been some good things. There's been some bad things. There's been some things needing to work on, and there's been a little bit of bad luck. Unfortunately, the Rams are plagued with injuries right now, and they just for whatever reason, it's just unfortunate. It's just sometimes it was the look of the draw, and this year we seem to be a team that's dealing with a bunch of injuries. There's always seems to be a team or two that seems to deal with that more than others. And so far, it looks like the Rams are one of those teams, unfortunately. But it is what it is. They're just gonna have to try to make it work as best as they can. So it's been a good, but it's been a good season so far. It's only been 2 weeks. Good with some concerns, some things to work on, and some concerning things outside of the field in terms of like injuries and things of that sort, and how that will affect the game. We'll see. We'll see. We got whooped by the Bills week 1, 31-10. We bounced back against a tough Falcons team, blew a 28-3 lead, and fortunately for us, avoided having the Atlanta 28-3 curse passed on to us. Because I would not have been a happy camper had that happened. But fortunately for us, it did not. Rams were able to pull it out. It's a good victory. We are now 1-1, and we will be traveling to Arizona to play our division rivals. This is our first division game. This is a very important game. Division games are the most important in an NFL season up until the playoffs because you want victories. The goal is to win the division that you're in every year because that automatically gives you a slot, an open slot into the playoffs if you do that. So, division rivals, division football games are very important because the our opponents in the division directly affect our chances of making the playoffs this season, which is why you see rivalries be as heated as they generally are, because there is a lot at stake when it comes to these games. So, with this being our first one, it would behoove us for it to go well. But if we are going to be victorious in this game, it will have to be uh, overcoming a little bit of the injury bug because we got bit by the injury bug. So let's go ahead and take a look at what has just happened the last day or so. After all the injuries we've had, David Long will be out. Sean McVay even commented on this and was quoted by saying, "Holy heck." Holy heck. And probably could not have summed it up better myself. It is unfortunate what's going on. But, we lost Troy Hill to the injured reserve, and we are down. How many does it say here? We are down to 5 healthy corners on Sunday, including the recently added Sean Jolly, the guy from Cleveland's practice squad. So David Long is going to be out. He sustained a groin injury in practice, so this was a practice injury. And Jacoby Durant will also not play because of his hamstring issue, and Troy Hill won't play either. And so pretty much all we have left is Jalen Ramsey, Robert Rochelle, and our rookies, Darion Kendrick and Russ East. And then Jolly, the guy from Cleveland. But I don't see he's there for depth. I don't see him playing really. So excuse me, but I could be wrong. Maybe he will. Who I don't know. Shit. But so very very thin room. So, but here's the thing though. I'm actually the Rams have done a very good job filling up the secondary with good defensive backs because I really think Jalen has been needing to play better, but I think he's starting to play. He's starting to get into his groove, so that's good. Robert Rochelle, I think will play well. Darion Kendrick, his first game action, I think he will do well. Russ Yeast, who has not been talked about as much, but apparently he played well in the preseason, and he's been getting praised by the coaches. So I think he'll do well. He's generally a safety, but who knows where they'll put him. Also, Van Jefferson on the offense is going to not be playing in this game. We'll get to him in a second. Brian Allen's still out. Tremaine Ankram's still out. Well, he's out for the year. Logan Bruss is out for the year. Coleman Shelton at center and AJ Jackson at right guard will be stepping up. And the recently signed Ode Aboshi will be the backup for the game, as well as Jeremiah Colon is the next man up at center. Hopefully we won't see him in there because I was not too pleased with his performance in the preseason. Nothing personal, just how I feel. And Bobby Evans is also there for depth. Hopefully we don't see him either. Just it is what it is, man. We need our this is a division game. This is going to be important. We need our best players out there. We signed back Malcolm Brown, Kendall Blanton as well, and so happy to have those two back. Takaris McKinley has been signed. Don't really know a whole lot about him other than he was a former first-round pick for a defensive end, and we'll see if he's good or not. Matt Skura was added to the practice squad. All right, so we got some injuries, and then back to Van Jefferson. Van Jefferson has been put on injured reserve on Saturday, which is a bit of a kick in the teeth. It seemed like for 3 weeks Jefferson was almost ready to go, but evidently he's either had a setback or it says he's had no setbacks, but it's either he had a setback or they just weren't. He wasn't really close to begin with, and I just don't know. I don't know, but he's being put on IR, and so he's going to be gone for a while, for at least the next month, at least the next 4 games. Pardon me. So yeah, that's we're gonna have to get Brandon Powell and Swarnick and some of these backup receivers. Tutu, come on, man. Come on, Tutu, come on. This is your opportunity. You gotta get it. But LA signed Grant Haley to the 53-man roster, and who was a defensive back, and also from our practice squad, Jacob Harris is coming back, and he's going to be playing. He's going to be dressing for the game. So excited to see that. I don't know if Jacob will play wide receiver a lot. I kind of see him more being in the kind of special teams role, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe, I mean, he's a big guy. Sean, if you're going to use him, I just do what you're doing with Allen Robinson, kind of have him go into the end zone and just have Matthew toss it up. for like a 50-50 ball. I feel like if Jacob Harris, because what it seems to look like is that Jacob Harris maybe isn't where he really needs to be in terms of knowledge on his playbook or his assignments, or at least not as much as Sean is comfortable with, which is why they put him on the practice squad, which was a surprise to me and to a lot of fans, but it would seem to indicate that he's maybe not quite ready for it. And this is just my thoughts. I'm speculating. I don't know any of this. It's just my personal thoughts. But with that being said, if that is the case, I mean, just having him like when you get into the red zone, just run like just put him on the outside and have Matthew toss it up for 50-50 ball. I mean, he's athletic, right? And the guy has some hops, wasn't he? Like he's like a multi-sport athlete, I think, Jacob Harris. I do. So the dude's athletic, man. Just have him like do what you did. You did that with Allen Robinson last week. Do it with Jacob Harris too. Like if you need two options, that way you can have. That's why I was so excited in the offseason, because the red zone areas where we need to improve, and we can a big help with that. That Allen Robinson's a big dude. He's a tall dude. He's strong, and he's athletic. So we even saw it in the Falcon game. I think it was his first touchdown. Matthew basically just tosses it up, and it's like a jump ball contest, and Allen Robinson wins it. And I feel like he'll win most of those matchups throughout the year. And I feel like Jacob Harris can do that too. Like you don't need to know a lot. You just run to the end zone, turn around, jump in the air and grab it. I think Jacob Harris can do that. So I just if you have both of them on the field at the same time on either side, it's going to be hard for the defense because they know like these two dudes are big, so more than likely they'll jump up for it, which could open the middle and open things for slants to Cup, to Brandon Powell, to Schwarnick, to Higbee, the tight ends, or you could run it up the middle because you're going to be spreading them out. Ideally, this is just speculating. Obviously, we don't know how the defense will react, but if he's going to be on the field, I just feel like using him for that, even if the man isn't really caught up with his like studies, I still think you can find a way to use him as an effective weapon, Sean. I really do. Like, and it can be super simple. That's easy for me to say, I know, but all I'm saying is have Matthew toss it up. I think it'll work out beautifully. So we'll see. We'll see. With this being the case, Van Jefferson being on IR, so people like Tutu and Brandon Powell. Tutu, this is your opportunity, Tutu. It's the opportunity. It's a good time for you to shine, man. It's if you want to prove something, now's the time. Now's the time. And Brandon Powell, I personally think we need to use Brandon Powell a lot more. I like what I've seen from him, what little I've have seen, but I think he's a solid football player. Most special teamers are, and I just feel like let's see him. And then Lance McCutcheon, I would like to see him too. I actually would rather. And Tutu, I know I sound like I'm really not trying to pick on you, but it's just my opinion that maybe your roster spot could be better served with someone like Lance here. I think Lance would be a better candidate to replace Tutu with. Unfortunately, he may or may not be caught up with his playbook as well. So depending on that, I don't know how far back he is, but I mean, if he isn't, like, if he knows a few, like, even if it's just a few plays, let's put him out there, dude. Get him some game experience. And because Lance seems like the type of guy who I feel like will catch on quick. I feel like he's one of those that will learn faster if he's out there playing. So that's just my opinion. But who knows? Maybe we'll see him kind of transition into our game this Sunday against the Cardinals. Very important game. The and we're gonna have some of our depth players have to step up. So ultimately, I'll start with the offense. I think attacking. I here. Okay, so all right, the offense. The big issue with the offense right now is one of them. One of the big ones is offensive line play. Okay, now I will say this: they got beat up a lot week one against the Bills. Okay, we got smacked around a little bit, got overpowered, but and we had some injuries, but they bounced back against the Falcons. I thought they played much better against the Falcons. I did. I did. I want to see a repeat performance. I think the switch at center, not necessarily a switch starter wise, but just Brian Allen's out with an injury. So the switch from him to Coleman Shelton, I personally feel is an upgrade. You know, no disrespect to Brian, but I just feel like Coleman mans the position a little better, judging from what I've seen. And then we have AJ Jackson playing his first game at right guard, and I thought he looked pretty good. So it's been just one game, so kind of still on the fence about it, but we'll see how they both perform. And if they both perform, if they both perform pretty well this game, week four, we're playing San Francisco, y'all. And San Francisco has like a strong, strong D line. So we need our best O lineman out there. And if AJ Jackson and Brian and Coleman Shelton can play well, I would keep them in there. So there's that. Havenstein and Noteboom on the outside. You know, they played solid, but I feel they, as a collective whole, can play a little better, particularly in the run game. I want to see better production out of the running backs. It will be interesting how Sean plans to use Malcolm Brown. We brought Malcolm Brown back, and don't know if we'll see him in this game yet. Not quite sure. But I feel like he can be someone used in short yardage situations, get that tough 1 to 2 yards, and I'm on board with it. So I've always liked Malcolm, and it's basically just a matter of how long will it take him to get up to speed. But so we'll see if he even plays this game. I'm not sure. I think he might though, but we'll see. We'll see. But Cam Akers and Daryl Henderson, we got to see more production out of y'all. You can't. You got to be able to make people miss, man. I know the O line isn't necessarily doing that great with run blocking. In fact, I actually think we're dead last in the league rushing. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's actually accurate. So, got to get better at that. And but dude, y'all gonna make people miss, man, or run people over. One of them, because I do not like. I understand it's easy for me to say on my couch, as I'm watching, but yeah, I'm a fan. This is what we do, all right, and I would like to see y'all not go down at first contact. All right. Okay. Someone hits you, try to shrug them off. I understand. Okay. I understand that's easy for me to say. Okay. As I'm sitting here with my cheese nips and my, what do I got? What do I got? I think I got some. Oh man, I think I need to go to the liquor store tomorrow because I don't really got anything. I'm out of Jim Beam. Okay, well anyway, like Jim, my liquor, my cheese nips, and maybe I'll get some chicken wings. And I'm sitting on my couch, and I know it's easy for me to say play tougher. You got to play a little tougher. You got to shrug off the defenders. You know what I mean? And here's the thing, though. It's true. It's true, though. Okay, y'all need to not go down after first contact. You got to help your O line out. All right. Cam, I know Cam was known for this in college with Florida State. I know Florida State's line was horrendous, and Cam was still able to make something happen. Y'all got to make something happen because we cannot become one dimensional in these games. All right. It is a recipe for disaster. Recipe for disaster. All right. We have to establish a tone. We have to control the pacing of the game. Okay, the pacing. Like in a good story. Just like you don't want things to be too erratic. You don't want things to go too slowly. You want it to be perfectly balanced and paced. Okay, that's how we want the game to go. We don't want it to be erratic. We don't want it to be a grind because we're not getting the yardage. We're being suffocated by the defense, and it's just the opponent's running all over us. No, 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 no. We don't want it to be too slow. We don't want it to be erratic and out of control. We gotta control the pacing, and the way to control the pacing of a game is to have an effective running game, and that means all parties involved. So O-line, you need to play better. Okay, running backs gotta play better. All right, wide receivers, help them out and block. Luckily for us, we have a group that is so selfless. Cooper Cup is blowing up people on the regular, okay, and run blocking. Just watch him if y'all haven't seen. Like the dude, Cup, like is one of my favorite players I've seen in a while on this team, and so him and Allen Robinson block Schwarnick. We had Schwarnick at the fullback's position, y'all, in an I formation. I love that. I absolutely love that. And I thought that was a great move by Sean, and I want to see more of that. I want to see more of pushing people around the physical aspect of football. Okay, it can't just all be deception. All right, you got to push them around sometimes too. Keeps them on their toes, so to speak. But so wide receiver. I think our wide receivers are solid with blocking. So, the tight ends, everyone's gonna block and get their man. All right, because we got to get better at rushing the football. So, I want to see. Okay, how do I want to say this? I want to see clear improvement, clear improvement in our running game in week 3 against the Cardinals from our first 2 weeks against the Bills and Falcons. So that's what I want to see. I know they can do it, so I'm sure that it'll be done, and yeah, it should be. I'm excited to see how they will do. Passing game, Matthew got to cut down on the turnovers. Okay, you need to chill with all the interceptions that are being thrown. Okay, I understand Matthew being somewhat of a gunslinger of a quarterback. When you have like a gunslinger at quarterback, someone who likes to throw a lot and throw deep and try to pick up huge chunk of yardage, that's a good thing. You want that. But it also means that while they'll pick up a lot of yardage, they will be prime for interceptions. And Stafford has had quite a lot of interceptions this year so far. I want to say it's I think it was like 5, dude. I think he's already at 5. after 2 games. That's crazy. That's like some of those picks were head scratchers. I mean, the one at the corner of the end zone, like just we just have to be more careful with the football on offense. We do that. We protect the ball. We maybe switch things up. We work on the ground game. Kind of keep things, kind of switch up looks throughout the game. Kind of add some 11 personnel, 12 personnel. Have some big jumbo sets as well. Kind of just keep them on their toes. I think we'll be okay. I really do. We always play the Cardinals well, and I feel like we can. I feel like our offense can be good. All right. I think if we attack the linebackers, from my understanding, Arizona has kind of weak linebackers, or they're the weakest of the team. Isaiah Simmons isn't doing so well, and the other two are like the worst graded in the league. So the linebacker position is an area where I believe we should try to exploit. All right. So I feel like that's what we need to do on offense. On defense, here's the thing. I am curious to see I am curious to see how our defense will respond in this game because we have quite a few injuries in the secondary. We are going to have a lot of young guys back there that it's not we're not quite sure how they're going to perform, but for me, I actually am not too worried about the secondary. I have faith in Darion and Robert Rochelle, and I have faith in Russ Yeast. I actually think they're going to perform quite well. So, but we still don't know. So we still don't know. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see. And I'm curious to see how they'll do. And Bobby and Ernest Jones at the linebacker position, they've been quietly having a really good year so far. So just keep it up. I'm very pleased with how our linebackers have been playing. So keep it up. Defensive line, we need to get a little more pressure, and need to stop the run for sure. It's going to be difficult with Kyler Murray because Kyler Murray is a athletic quarterback. He's very fast. He's very athletic. But here's the thing, we played Kyler Murray well, quite a bit, quite a bit in our matchups, and I just feel like he's a shorter guy. It is what it is. He's short, and I feel like if you contain him, get your proper contain, don't let him don't let him get outside of you because the thing is, if he goes outside of you, it's going to be like backyard football. You don't want him playing backyard football because that's when he's at his best. So you want to try and avoid doing that by kind of boxing him in from the outside position. Well, so Leonard Floyd, Justin Hollins, Terrell Lewis, rush them, but like maintain gap integrity and just keep them inside of you. All right, and put your hands up. Like if the dude tries to throw the football, the dude's short, man. Like put your arms in the air, and block his view. All right, he won't be able to see above you, and he won't be able to see above you. He won't be able to see above you, and oh, holy crap, dude! I'm watching this match. It's pretty intense right now. But anyway, um, yeah, keep them in front of you, and like maintain discipline for sure. And Kyler Murray got a payday this offseason. He got a raise, but there was some the there was a little bit of drama concerned with that because I guess the Cardinals they've taken the claws off since then. But initially they said, Kyler, you need to study a little more. All right, you want to get this money, you got to study a little more. And this is something I've kind of been I've figured was the case about Kyler for quite some time now, because he just does not seem like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but he just doesn't seem like, you know, the sharpest dude. Not to be mean, yeah, because trust me, I'm not the sharpest dude either. Okay, I'm an idiot. Trust me, but and I would be an idiot trying to learn this playbook stuff too. Trust me, but it just seems like Kyler gets confused easily, and I feel like if we can mix up the coverages, Raheem, mix up your defensive coverages. Don't just sit in one particular formation the entire game. All right, mix it up a little bit. Okay, confuse him, disguise some blitzes, send some blitzes, send Bobby on a few through the middle, you know, send Jalen kind of do some fakes, like get him erratic, and he will struggle. All right, we whooped his ass in the wild card round just this last year. Remember that. Remember that. Okay, Kyler and Cliff Kingsbury, don't have anything against them, okay? But remember how shook they looked in that playoff game. Like they could not do anything against us. Like we whooped their ass, dude. It was honestly one of my. It was such an awesome feeling because the last three games of that playoff run were so stressful, and they were such nail biters that I was on the edge of my seat and I was stressing the entire game. It was nice to watch us just dominate the Cardinals in the wild card round, and it was real chill. So we play well against this team. They're a good team, but I feel like if we just maintain our discipline and limit the turnovers, improve on a few things, I think we'll be okay. Despite all the injuries, I do think we'll be okay. I do. I do. And I got faith in these boys. I do. I got faith in y'all. I got faith in you, Sean. You hear that? I got faith in you. I got faith in you, Sean. I know. Holy heck. It's quite the reaction. You know? It's very I probably would have had a similar reaction. I mean, it's just bad luck so far. But I feel like y'all are gonna get it. We're gonna be fine. Okay? I think it'll be a close game. It'll be kind of stressful, but I do think we come out of it on top. I'm going to say Lord have mercy. I think we win. I do think we win, and I think we win. I do Lord have mercy. I do think it gets. I want to see. I think it. I'm comfortable with like a 31 kind of 24 score. I think 31-24, give or take. Basically, it's going to be a close game that will edge out. So that's what I believe. I believe we'll win. So that is my prediction on that, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. You know, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered, and tomorrow, you know, as I record this tomorrow, we'll find out. We'll find out how they do. So, good luck to you boys. I'm gonna end it here, and I will catch you guys on the next one. And as always, go Rams.